Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to the Demoscene report of the 9th of April 2025. This video summarizes all of the latest news and releases from the active demo scene. Not that many demo parties were happening recently. This week we'll take a look at the releases from Fioniadata, the Commodore 64 demo party in Denmark. Then I have a bunch of news on different demo scene related topics. We'll quickly go over a dozen little productions that were released out of competition throughout the week, and then Speccy.pl took place just this past weekend, a ZX Spectrum demo party in Poland with some very high quality releases worth checking out as well. We'll take a quick look at those before wrapping up for this week's show. So a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get started. As always, I will link everything that I talk about on the description below, so you can check things at your own leisure later on. So for now, just grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, let's talk demo scene. And starting off, let's take a look at the releases from Fioniadata, a rather small Commodore party in Denmark, organized by Hagar and Macax, a little over 20 people present, but nice to see some old school demo scene activity still happening in Denmark. Only 2 Amiga demos submitted to the compo. Proton of Finnish Gold won the competition with a party scroller demo. The music competitions were dominated by the legend Yogi the Little Doll, doing music on Amiga since the early 90s. And then we had a single Commodore 64K intro by Slackers called A Dimer and a Table, a pretty solid effect with some very large graphics patterns scrolling in different directions as well, so nice little intro there. The Commodore 64 competition only had 6 entries, a few single screen productions, also a couple of unfinished ones by Camelot, by Triad and Fairlight as well. In second place, carrier number 10,000 is an ode / advert to the Boar's Head Tavern BBS, a Commodore 64 BBS that is still active and running in 2025. And then the winner entry was a birthday demo for Fegelhus, made by Fairlight, with a couple different scenes there and very good music as well. There were only 2 entries on the Commodore 64 graphics competition. Both of them were quite nice. The winner entry here is a reference to the demo 9 by LFT that was released a few months ago and also highly praised. In terms of music, Mibri won the Commodore 64 music competition with Yori Taoshi, and they also had a Petsky graphics competition with 4 entries. All of them were quite decent. The winner was this one, Ross 225 by The Rook, tribute image to Diana Ross, apparently. In other news, Neon ported his ZX Spectrum executable graphics entry to Shadertoy. The original had won a Love Bite Tiny executable graphics old school competition a few months ago, and you can now see the code for a high-end computer implementation as well. Then we have Yle Arena, the Finnish national media network that released a documentary on how the early computer nerds ended up as a large backbone of the gaming industry that Finland is so famous for. It includes some interviews with some famous demo sceners like Abyss, who was the main organizer of Assembly for many years. Sadly, it's all in Finnish, and I didn't see any English captions available, so yeah, sad times for non-Finnish speakers. Inspired by this documentary, a few Finnish demo sceners started checking the Finnish Tax Authority, which is open data, to know how much taxes each person has paid in their lifetime, and created this little rank of demo scene groups, top donation to the Finnish tax system. So the ultimate voting charts for contributing to the tax economy of a country by Demoscene ranks. And you might be wondering who the hell is Fulmar Designs. Well, they were a small demo group active around 94-95, and one of the members ended up co-founding Supercell. I think you might have heard about them. So yeah. Speaking of Demoscene recognition in the public, Sweden is the next group of countries where the Demoscene is now recognized as an intangible cultural heritage. Here is the Swedish news article reporting on it. Go280 also wrote a post summarizing it in English. So Sweden now joins the recognition that other countries already had. Finland, Poland, Switzerland, and the Netherlands all already had this recognition. In other news, DJam released a very lengthy video on the story of Echo, a French demo group mostly known for their activities on the Atari ST and Atari Falcon in the 90s. They also later ventured on developing some video games. A very interesting insight on the early French demo scene history. Highly recommend you checking it out. Then Excite, in collaboration with the EU-funded COST program GRADE, the grassroots movement of digital Europe, announced a grant call for case studies of women and minorities in creative computing. So if you know someone who empowered or is empowering creative computing against all odds, you might want to submit an application and get their work a little bit more recognized. Nanogems just got an update on their curation of tiny intros. If you're looking for great things in small sizes, you will find it at Nanogems. Then I found this video on YouTube by White Pointer Gaming where they deconstruct how certain graphical tricks were made in certain games, which is very in line with the demo scene spirit of doing graphical things the computer wasn't expected to handle, so I thought some of you might enjoy this. Another recent YouTube video marginally related to the demo scene that I found is this one by Dave Blair, trapping images in feedback loops and creating galaxies with the HD video feedback fractal device. That's a mouthful. They could write a paper about that. So explores analog feedback systems pretty much. You film what you are displaying and the lag between the capture and the transmission gives you this feedback effect, and you can rotate it to do some pretty images. A lot of demo sceners already experimented with that, but here is done in analog form, the original way of doing feedback. What would rock and roll be without feedback? So yeah. Also, another news, the Dreamcast homebrew scene is celebrating the release of a Wipeout port created by J. N. Martin84, who was already known in the Dreamcast homebrew scene for having ported Doom 64 to the Dreamcast. You can read more about it on this X post, and there was also some videos available and the entire source code. So yeah, check that out. And talking about GitHub, if you're looking to learn modern assembly language and help out an open source public service project at the same time, FFMPEG has this ASM lessons corner on GitHub where they try to teach you some modern assembly if you are interested in learning. So yeah, it might be interesting for you as well. And still on GitHub, I found this new chiptune tracker by Megus targeting the handheld console. It's called the ChipNomad Tracker. It has an interface very similar to LSDJ for the Game Boy, but targets more chips, not just the Game Boy. So check it out if you want to track some chiptunes while on the commute to something. I also found this SDF Modeler tool, still under development, doesn't export GLSL math code yet, only the PLY format, but it's nice to have more SDF modelers available out there. People doing modern intros in the demo scene use SDF things all the time, so yeah, cool to have more modelers available. New demo scene releases outside of competitions. Tufti released a Beeper Cafe, a music disc / album using the 1-bit ZX Spectrum beeper. Razer 1911 did a new Windows crack throw. Multi-Style Labs did a new music disc for the Commodore 64 called A Better Place as a virtual hug to Alman, who has recently lost his father apparently. Tempest released a Pompeii 2 Distanier, making reference to the protests that have been happening in Serbia. TUGCS released the Flowbotron, a software to make your Commodore 64 disk drives sync like a cat in heat and significantly also shorten their lifespan. So if you want to have some fun with your disk drives, check out this release. A few small intros by Pack, also a few intros by Laxity, and Krill did a remake of the loader intro in the demo Fishbomb by Extend. He's just testing some new features on his loader from what I understood of the text information, so yeah. And the last Commodore 64 news that I have for you this week is that the Commodore 64 Graphics.com Charset logo competition 2025 is now open. Do you want to make a logo for the Commodore 64 using Charsets only? Of course you do. Check out the rules, submit your entries until the 30th of June. A couple of other events also happened just this past weekend. A vintage computer Carinthia in Austria saw the release of a new version of a Petsky 2X tool and a couple of games and demos on the theme of Black on Black. So check them out as well. And then we had Speccy.pl party happening in Poland, a demo party dedicated to the ZX Spectrum that has been organized for 10 years now. It had a pretty good turnout in terms of releases, so let's take a look at those. The Wild competition only had 6 entries. In 6th place was a collage generator for ZX Spectrum graphics made by Monster of GDC, who did a lot of submissions for the party. Max the Cat early tech demo by KAOP Interactive is a preview of a game that they are developing for the ZX Spectrum. 4th place, Xenium 2024 is a bit of an overview of the party place of Xenium as an invitation for the new edition of Xenium that will take place in 2025 as well. Then we had a little joke video entry about AI in the ZX Spectrum. It says that it has no future, so yeah. In 2nd place, Let's Beep by GDC, a little beeper music disc with music by Voyager and graphics by Monster as well. If you like beeper sounds, you can check this out. And winner was Liminal Prelude, the deluxe edition by KAOP Interactive. Nice little new game there. We are chased around the screen by 2 snakes. We have to find the next room. Very good graphics, also translated to multiple languages. So yeah, nice little game released for the ZX Spectrum there. Then taking a look at the ZX Spectrum AY music competition was won by Catman of Speccy.pl with the track We Still Alive, the party version of that. Jammer getting 2nd place with Duran 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 Duran. ZX Spectrum demo had only 2 entries, but all of them were quite good quality. A retro O-part for the masses by GDC, a very large multi-part demo made by GDC with a lot of different effects that they also reused on some of the intro competitions of the party as well in some slightly different formats. Really solid demo, a lot of good different things. They've been working on this demo for, I believe, 2.5 or 3 years, and it really shows. There's a lot of polish in it, a lot of different things, so a really good demo. And it could easily have won the demo competition, but Arise and Joker decided to do a masterpiece. Ad Mortem is kind of like a space horror themed demo. Has a lot of horror gore elements in it, but also a space theme to it, and it connects with the Ad Astra demo that they released 2 years ago, I believe, also as Speccy.pl probably, where it was more about space exploration. So they went beyond the theme of space exploration, and now it's meeting horror deep in space. So they have a lot of horror picks, a lot of horror space themed effects as well. Graphics are really good, the effects are very good, the sync is very on point, which really helps to sell it a lot. And I have to send huge props to Jammer for doing this weird ass soundtrack, and especially the sound effects that he used on all the different things. It really brings the horror to life on the demo. So really good demo. Probably one of the best demos of the year for the ZX Spectrum, although it's still early in the year, but very, very solid demo. So big congratulations to Arise and Joker for making such a killer demo earlier on in the year. Now let's take a look at the ZX Spectrum graphics competition, 10 entries overall, and a little note from the organizers that the participants signed the declaration that all of their graphics did not have any AY influenced tools used in it, either for references on steps or conversions of any sort. So everything that you see here was handmade, hand-drawn, and hand-sketched and hand-converted for the ZX Spectrum. So take a look at the graphics. A couple of joke entries simulating the style from Yermzie of UI Program, Parent 2 by Yezi and Parent 1 also by Yezi. All of them about little mischief going to the sex shop. In 8th place, If Atari Had Bought Sinclair by Deli of New Generation, a little reference to the Atari logo there. 7th place, Funstadroms by FOYM. In 6th place, Plan B by Dr. Terrors. I guess it also goes along with the space horror theme. Probably unintentional. I don't think Dr. Terrors is affiliated with Arise or Joker. But yeah, nice little image there. Very colorful, some color clashes there, but very nice composition overall. and attention to detail. Then E.T. on LSD by Hairdog of Boom and Dream, also a very nice image. It reminds me more of Slimer than E.T. per se, but really cool, and cool background as well, with this more horror themed again. Then in fourth place, 7+1 Bullets by Sule of Often Hide. You've seen Sule doing graphics for a lot of different platforms on the last year. ZX Spectrum is one of them. Really cool goat here, coming out guns blazing. Sharing the second place, we had Veiled in Shadows by Vasil of Joker, also a legend on the Polish pixel art scene. Always participates on all the Amiga graphics competitions. Here making this Spawn referenced image, I would guess. It looks like a female Spawn character to me. And also sharing the second place, All Colors by Kuvu of CSI, usually active on the Electronica BK, here doing some stuff for the original ZX Spectrum, also a very nice image here. And the winner was Lagata by Catman of Speccy.pl. A lot of attention on the dithering here as well. So congratulations, Catman, on winning the competition of the ZX Spectrum graphics. A lot of high quality images on this one, so congratulations on that. And we had the ZX Spectrum Intro 256-byte intro competition, which had 8 intros overall. Let's take a look. Colors by Gork of Agenda, with a nice little conceptual piece there. I really liked this one. In 7th place, Countdown 256 by Monster, another conceptual art piece of how to count in binary. Opart for the Masses, a prelude to Prelude by Monster, making reference to the demo that they submitted later on. Multimatograph Invitation by Lemic, ZX ROM Worms 256, just a worm effect crescendo through the screen in various colors. Magenta Invasion In Depth by Docs of Joker. This one was pretty cool as well. Had some sine wave effects with both the dots and the moving parts on top and bottom. Retro Scroll by Retro Silicon. Actually, the screenshot doesn't do it much justice. There's this weird effect that happens in between, but yeah, nice little effect by Retro Silicon. And winner was Blocks by FOYEM, decompressing these characters and having this little animation to present them on the screen. So yeah, nice little 256-byte intro competition at Speccy.pl as well. Let's take a look at the 4KB intro competition. Only had 3 entries, a little joke entry called Lemming by Rogel. In second place, Fallen by Vashek of Arise, with a lot of good quality graphics included there. And the winner was Opart for the Masses, the Prelude by GDC, taking some scenes from their demo, as I previously mentioned, but fitting it into 4KB. Then we had the ZX Spectrum Next demo competition, only a single entry. It was actually a 4KB intro called The Red Supremacy by Virtual Vision Group. Very solid entry. I really liked the concept and that it has a pseudo-political message behind it. So yeah, I do recommend you checking it out. A very creative use of ZX Spectrum Next. And the last competition that they had at Speccy.pl was the Turbo Sound Music competition, where you use 2 AY chips to make music. So we have 6 channels instead of the usual 3. It was won by Pator with Lunai Vortex, and second place the final boss by Philip of Damage and Moonshine. That's it for this week's report. Hope to see you at Revision next week. And if you can't make it to Saarbrücken, there is always a live stream and some satellite events as well happening a little all over the world. Confirmed so far is the satellite in the UK at the Retro Computer Museum. Also, the Yandex Museum in Russia will also be hosting a little watching party. And Valencia will also be having Revision satellite. They even have posters on the city streets announcing it for people to go there and see it. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Also heard there's one being planned in Brazil, not announced officially yet, but hopefully if you're in Brazil, get in touch with your local Brazilian seniors, and you can also have a watching party there. We'll have one in Portugal as well if you want to go over to Genio's place and watch some demos. If you're in the Lisbon area, send Genio a message to hook up. And another item that I wanted to talk about before wrapping up are the seminars at Revision. There is not just competitions happening at Revision, there's also some interesting seminars. How to Scene for beginners. If you're a newcomer, you should attend this to get into to what the hell the Demoscene is, what the hell are you doing at Revision, writing, building a 3D geometry engine from scratch. Cubics of Architects tells about his demo making or intro making process. The Belgian Beer Seminar by Reality 404 if you want to sample some beers. The Sorbus Computer, how to build a $10 retro computer by Svoli. Copper Showdown Editor, Grapey is going to talk about this tool that he's been developing that allows you to code some copper effects on the Amiga and do battles similar to what we do with Bonsomatic and Basmatic and that kind of stuff. AY versus Law Round 1, the Elder Gods have spoken by Net Poets, talking about how AI applies to creative computing things that we do in the Demoscene. Lightning talks about the PC intro making. So if you're interested in doing 4 kilobyte intros or 64 kilobyte intros, there will be a few lightning talks on this seminar talking about the different processes of creating intros. If you're an experienced user and want to share some of your knowledge, please contact LLB to also participate on this. And if you just want to learn, this is a great place to learn how to make more intros for the Demoscene. Emotional Laboratory, express and impress yourself with the Commodore 64 Axite tools by Rov of Project Axite. There's this Emotional Laboratory tool that he created to do some demos with, apparently, and he's gonna explain about that. And Shayna is gonna talk about well, that sucked, the Demoscene during and after the social media era. So what we can do in terms of social media to still promote the Demoscene in some ways. So yeah, a lot of different seminars happening. Check them out. They will be both live streamed, I believe, and also uploaded afterwards. Or if you're at Revision physically, you can also just go into the seminar hall and watch them. So yeah, if you found something interesting in this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the link with a friend, and maybe even donate me something through patreon.com/psenough. I'll also take those payments in free beers at Revision, and I will also be selling some copies of my self-published speculative fiction book, Privacy 404, and the Synergy tape, ZX Spectrum tape with all of the Demoscene releases from the event that Associação Inertia co-organized with the Load ZX Museum in Cantanhede last year, and sales from this tape will help pay for Inertia 2025. So yeah, get one of these from me at Revision if you can. So yeah, that's all that I have for you today. See you next time. Bye bye everybody. Take care.